Hey everyone, welcome to this Maths with Sarah T video. In this video, we're going to be having a look at this maths question taken from an AQA GCSE maths paper. It's a paper 1 question from a non-calculator paper, so don't want to see any calculators involved. It's question 22, so it's approaching the end of the maths paper. And therefore the questions are starting to get a little bit more challenging. So if you have any problems with this, don't worry, I'm going to talk you through it. So before I start properly, I just want you to take a few seconds, a minute, however long it takes, just to have a think about either how you would tackle this question, maybe have a go at solving it yourself. If you're not too sure, then just have a think about what you might do. What might be the first steps that you take, even if you don't feel like you can solve the whole question right now. That's fine, don't worry, I will talk you through it. So maybe pause this video, have a little think about what you do, and then come back in a few seconds when you've had a chance to have a think. So hopefully you're all back. Maybe you have managed to solve it. Maybe you're a bit stuck, not quite sure what to do. Don't worry, I'm going to take you through it now. So obviously we've got algebraic fractions, we've got 2 of them, and we've also got a number, what this equals on the opposite side. So in order to solve this equation, we would like to try and get rid of the fractions and just convert it to a normal kind of standard linear equation. So in order to simplify out these fractions, the best way of doing it is to cross multiply the denominators with the opposite numerator. So for example here, we're going to take this x plus 4 and cross multiply it and times it by the opposite numerator, 7. And then in the same way, we'll do the same with the opposite one. So the x minus 2 will be times by the opposite numerator. And you can do this in 2 steps. I'm going to do it in one here because I think it makes it slightly simpler to do it all in one step. But don't worry, you can do it in 2 steps if you find that easier. One thing that's important is that we cannot forget this 1 over on the opposite side. So as well as timesing this x plus 4 by the 7, we also need to times by the 1. And the same for this x minus 2 also needs to be times by the 1. So if we start multiplying this out, we're going to end up with x, and that's going to be times by x minus 2. I'm just popping all this in brackets just to make it really easy. And I'm going to write the full thing out just to make it as clear as possible what I've done. So then that's the first multiplication. Then the second one is we're going to have 7 and then x plus 4. And then we're going to do x minus 2 times 1. So that will just give us x minus 2. And then we need to also times it by this x plus 4. So we're going to end up with 2 brackets on this side. So now the next step is to expand all of these brackets so we can see exactly what it is that we're dealing with. So if we start with this first bracket, if we expand this bracket, I'm going to do x times x. Gives us x squared, and then minus 2x. And similarly for this next bracket, we're going to have 7x plus 28. And if we multiply out this or expand this double set of brackets, then we're going to end up with x squared minus 2x plus 4x, and then minus 8 on the end. So hopefully as we start looking at this question, you can see that there are some terms that are found on both sides. Because they're seen on both sides of the equation, we can then cancel them out. So we can cancel out the x squared on both sides, and then the same for this minus 2x, because again, that's found on both sides. So now we're starting to get a much simpler equation that hopefully you feel able to solve. So end up with 7x plus 28 equals 4x minus 8. So if we start to rearrange this equation to try and solve it for x, we'll start by taking away 4x from both sides. Remember, it's really important that whatever you do to one side, you must do exactly the same to the other side. So if we minus 4x from both sides, we're going to end up with 3x plus 28 on this side, and that's equal to minus 8. Then if we do exactly the same again, and we take away 28 from both sides, we're going to end up with 3x on this side, and that is equal to minus 36. So now the last step is the same as 3 times x, so it's 3x, so we can divide each side by 3, and that is going to leave us with x equals minus 12, which is your final answer. And if you were to substitute x equals minus 12 back into this original equation and calculated it, you should end up with the answer equaling 1. And that's a really good way to check that your answer is correct. So I'm a strong believer in trying to either estimate the answer before you start, or trying to check that your answer seems logical, or substituting it back into the equation to check that you've got it right. So hopefully you followed that all along, and hopefully you're feeling a little bit more confident to tackle questions like this. And hopefully I'll see you at the next video, where we'll be tackling another challenging question from the GCSE maths paper. Thank you for watching. Bye.